Hey everyone, this is me, the Undead Viking. This is Escape from Dulce, or Dulce. Now, before I go really in-depth into this game, this is a really fun game, but before I go super in-depth, I did not know what Escape from Dulce meant at all, so of course I had to Google it. So, this is a game about, like, weird alien conspiracies type of thing, and it is this idea that Dulce, after I looked into it, is about a guy that, and I invite you to go ahead and look into this, but basically somebody that said that, I think it was in the 70s, there was this like secret alien underground base where basically aliens and humans were kind of cohabitating a little bit and like working together, but something happened where the aliens started a revolt or to rebel, and there was a huge underground battle or war between the humans and the aliens, and many people lost their lives, and this was like some like conspiracy crackpot like person that like was going about and saying that there was these underground tunnels like all over the earth where all these aliens were hiding out and what have you. So, and I consider myself pretty up to date. I shouldn't say up to date, but I consider myself pretty well versed in the whole like weird alien culture. You know, it's something that I find a lot of interest in. And I find it kind of fascinating. I don't necessarily really believe in any of it, but I do find it really interesting. And so I was kind of thankful that this game kind of, you know, like led me down that rabbit hole, that one Wikipedia rabbit hole that I spent a good several hours digging into that time. But anyway, regardless, that's where this comes from. So the idea is that each player is this person that or thing or what have you, and you'll see those in just a second, that has woken up in this alien base, and they need to escape. And you have to work cooperatively to try to search the base, figure out where you are, and figure out the different ways that you need to do to get out of the base. And along the way, you're going to be grabbing all kinds of crazy technology, plus old school stuff too. I mean, like there's like you'll be beating aliens to death with sticks, but also getting laser weapons. If you will, and like flintlock pistols and things like that, because the aliens have been around for millennia, right? That's the idea, is that like you've woken up in this base, and the people you play are going to be like mutants and rebel aliens and mutated cows and like whole mutated families and things like that. It's a crazy game. That's like one of the cool things, and this is definitely one of those like thematic narrative games that I really enjoy. So, let me show you how Escape from Dulce is played. It shouldn't take too long, especially if you're familiar with this type of game. And then we'll come back here and I'll give you my final thoughts. So this is Escape from Dulce, and as I said, I'm not going to dive into like a full like turn of the game. I'm not going to like show you like every little aspect of like the exploration and what have you. I just want to make sure you have an idea of like what you'll be doing as you play this game. You know, if you've played thematic games before, and co-op thematic games before, a lot of the stuff you're going to see here is going to be very familiar to you. You know, as far as going into an area, having an encounter, satisfying that encounter, getting a reward, and then moving on to another spot and continuing on like so. You know, so just like a lot of games like this, each person will be given a character of some point. The character will have a name, have different powers and abilities that will set themselves up. So like, and because this has this crazy theme of the fact that all of you were like captured by aliens at some point in your life, and you've just woken up in your cryopod, and now you're trying to escape, the characters themselves are probably going to be a little bit weird. The whole point of the game is that you start at this bottom level of the alien base. And each level has these different areas. And these different areas, you're going to go to them and you're going to investigate them. And what you're trying to do, you'll see these little question marks. And you set this up randomly at the beginning of the game. What you're trying to look for is you're looking for the portal to get to the next level. But you also have to find the computer terminal that will unlock the portal itself. And as you travel through the game board, each time you go to a different spot, the alarm will increase in one level each and every time. And as when you're in the green, it means you've been kind of you've been silent, and the aliens aren't really looking for you that much. When you get to yellow, what'll happen then is that there's a random chance that you'll run into like a wandering patrol. And when you get to red, there just isn't active. The aliens are gonna be looking for you, and then you'll notice that there's that black circle at the very end, and that means that the evil man in black, which is the big bad guy, will be actually actively looking for you as well. The alarm level doesn't cause you to lose, it just makes the game tougher. It isn't like a Doom track like you'd find in, like, say, an Arkham or Eldritch Horror. The good news is that if your alarm level does hit the black, and then the man in black shows up, if you're able to defeat him, you do go ahead and reduce yourself down to the first spot on the alarm level, but he is a tough encounter to defeat. More commonly, the way you're going to lose is that you do have the ability to clone yourself, meaning that if one of the characters is killed, you can clone and come back and play. But you can only do that 4 times. Each time there's a character death, you'll clone the person and bring them back, but after the 4th time, you can't have anybody die, and if you have a 5th character death, then at that point you've lost the game. The way you win is by going from level 6 to level 5 to level 4 to level 3 to level 2 to level 1, defeating the big final boss monsters in level 1, which will be not only the Man in Black, but other alien commanders as well. And if you do that, then you will be able to escape and get out of the base. So, that's your whole goal. But anyway, the characters that you'll have are like, here's this cow, this mutated family, this alien like bounty hunter guy, Amelia Earhart, a renegade alien, this Dr. Dolores Haskin, or Donna Haskin. I'm sorry, it's Donna Dolores. You can probably see that right there. There you go. See? And Reb Buford, Hattori Hanzo, like a samurai from the. So you can kind of tell that, like, this is not going to be. There's definitely some tongue-in-cheek humor going on in this game, but it is serious as well. So I chose, just for the fun of it, Amelia Earhart, the samurai guy, and then Snippy Von Bell, the mutated cow. Each one of these characters will have a health track, a starting health that you see here. They'll have some starting stats. They'll have abilities, like Amelia Earhart, dodge, damage. It'll tell you what kind of equipment they can get. As far as she can, have melee, pistols, and experimental weapons, light or medium armor. She can equip any of these types of abilities, and this is her backpack. The stats: strength tells you how many items you can carry. Mental, how well you can find stuff, and if you get any psionic attacks, that's how they use those. Your accuracy to hit, speed, how many actions you get, and also affects your initiative. Level, so here's like your experience points track. As you go up on this track, like you get to level 6, that means you're level 2, then it goes down to 0, then you get up to 8, level 3, and so forth. Then each one of these levels actually tells you what you gain when you get into level. So level 2, you will gain like a health or a mental stat, and you get to pick. And then level 3, you get health or a strength. Level 4, you just get a health. And so on. And then level 5, you get one of these 3 to choose. Now also, you'll notice that she had this dodge ability, but also Pistolero unlocked at level 5, +1 accuracy and +1 damage with all pistol class weapons. So you have cool things like that. Hattori Hanzo is really good with melee weapons, and then Snippy Von Bell is, well, a mutated cow that has a psionic blast. Anyway, so what you'll be doing, you'll get some starting equipment. Equipment is just, things that you can do, like, and maybe rusty pipes that you can hit people with, pistols, and so on and so forth. And you'll give that to each player as you see fit. On your turn, what you'll do is you will, as a group, decide what room you're going to go to, and then you're going to pick a person to go into that room first. So in this case, we'll send Hattori into this one first because he's kind of the tank of the group, and then you would go ahead and draw an encounter for that room. You draw the encounter for the room, and it just tells you. So it gives you a little story. So it says this is a secret armory. The walls in this room are lined with primitive and modern weapons. You are in luck, except for the gray aliens who want them too. So after the encounter, each player may search for loot normally, or go through the loot deck and take the first weapon card without the need to search. Then you can reshuffle the loot card if you wish so. Now this is important because this tells you, depending upon the level of danger and how many players you're playing with, this is how many aliens you'll spawn. So like in this case, you have 3+ players, and we're in green, so we're going to have 2 gray aliens. But if we're in like yellow, we'd have a gray alien and a robot, and then if we were in red, we'd have 2 gray aliens and a robot. So this will adjust as the game is played. So we have to take 2 gray aliens, and we do that by just taking 2 of these gray alien guys here. And you'll notice that these have numbers on them. You can take 1 and 2, it doesn't really matter. But what you're going to do is you're going to take those off, because those are the initiatives, and you're going to use these to track like where they are as far as like when they're going to attack. And so to find out what their abilities are, what you'll do is you'll draw one of these cards for the aliens. So like the first alien, we're going to have, this will be like alien number 3, we'll just say. So it'll tell us he's speed 9. So we're going to go ahead and put that on the 9, like so. And then we'll look here, and then it'll tell us that he has 3 actions. He has an accuracy of 3, and these are his attacks. And these are pretty good attacks, actually. Ugh. He's got 4 health, and so we might want to avoid in this. And each attack will tell us, they'll target the person with the highest armor, then they'll target the person with the lowest speed, then they'll target the person with the highest health. So then we put that there, because that and so that we remember he's there. And so then now we'll draw another one for, here we have a gray alien, and he's going to be speed 7. So we're going to take this one, we're going to put that on speed 7. Now each player will get to roll, and I'll put that there, each player will get to roll a d6 and add their speed. So both the Samurai and Amelia Earhart are speed 3, so we'll go ahead. So that was, I was going to say that was for him. That's kind of cheating, but we're just going to go ahead and do that. And then Amelia Earhart, speed 3, so she's going to be on a 6. And the cow is speed 2, and so she's going to be on a 4. And so now we know the order in which these attacks are going to occur. Now, if 2 players are over on the same spot, you kind of decide between the 2 who's going to go. But if you have a person that is on the like at the same time as an alien, you can choose that they will go ahead and they are going to they always go ahead of the aliens. Now this is actually good because remember, this guy's got the good attacks, and we don't want him to be able to shoot his plasma pistol at us. So what we're going to do is we're going to have our samurai guy attack, and because of the fact he has a special ability that he's really good with melee weapons, we gave him, this big ass wrench. And the white die there is the damage that it does. But if we go ahead and look at the samurai, he has an accuracy of 3, but he he gets +1 accuracy and +1 damage when using melee weapons. He's in the room with the alien, so he doesn't have to move in to attack because he's got a melee weapon. So he gets 3 actions. So we're going to do 3 attacks, and we're going to go, and the first attack is going to be on that first one. We're going to hopefully, kill this one before it can go. So here we go. First attack, we're looking for a 4 or less. So 4. That's going to be a hit. And now what we're going to do is we're going to roll this, and remember, we're going to add 1 to the damage. So that does 2 points of damage. So we've done 2. So like here's another attack. That's going to be a miss. That's no good. Come on. Oh man, that's bad luck. Because we would have, because of the +1 to damage, we were guaranteed in taking him out. So now we didn't take that guy out, and now the alien gets to go. So the alien first is going to attack the person with the highest armor, and the highest armor is Hattori Hanzo, because we gave him these army fatigues, and so he's got 1 armor. So what if he gets hit though? This alien actually has, like, notice that little one there, or that thing. That means they damage armor with a hit. So the first attack is with an accuracy of 3, and we're gonna hope we miss a 6. So that's good. We miss Hattori that time. So now we're gonna go ahead and probe. Now this is a melee attack because those are white, so it doesn't matter because the only person in the room is our friend Hattori Hanzo. And so we're going to go ahead, and the probe attack is going to be, once again, accuracy of 3. We'll see if we hit. We miss again, and the final attack, that is another probe with another white. 3 misses. Oh, man, I rolled really well. Well, I mean, the aliens rolled bad, but I rolled really well for me. Alright, so we got lucky there, but now we're going to move on to the next alien. And this is the alien that goes here on arm 7. So if we're going to go ahead and look, once again, we have an accuracy of 3, and we have a probe, and then a laser pistol, and then a laser pistol. And so the laser pistols are going to be doing armor damage if they hit. And this is a stun, meaning that you don't get to take an action. So the first one is to the highest accuracy, in which case, and once again, Hattori is the only one in the room, so we're going to go ahead and roll, and hopefully we can still maintain. Yeah, we're getting super lucky. So that does not work. So then now we have the laser pistol, and this would be that has the highest armor. Once again, this is going to be Hattori. So maintain our luck. No, okay, finally our luck is gone. So the laser pistol, we're going to roll a blue die, and we're going to see how much damage it does. And so it does 3 points of damage, and it would reduce his armor by 1. But the armor does have a value of 1, so we're going to reduce the damage by 1, so it would be 2 damage, and then the 1 more. And so then the final attack is for the lowest armor, which is going to be a tie. In which case, then the enemy targets whoever is the highest on the combat tracker. So it's going to be a 9. So once again, it's going to be Hattori again. So we're going to go ahead and roll. And man, you only hit once. This has actually been a really bad round. Well, good for us, but bad for the aliens. We don't really care about the aliens. So now the other 2 people get to go. We have Amelia Earhart has a pistol, and she has an accuracy of 3. And so since we've already done, she can actually do all of her attacks from one room away. So we're going to focus all of our attacks on the one with the plasma. Remember, he's got 2 health left. So she's got an accuracy of 3. Let's see if we get, so roll. That's going to be a hit, and so then we're going to go ahead and roll the green, because the pistol, show you the pistol here. The pistol uses a green die for the damage, so hopefully we can get like a 2 damage here. Nope, just 1, so we're going to need to hit him at least 1 more time. So second attack, miss, come on, third attack, there we go. So it's going to do a point of damage, that's fine. So we're going to take out this alien, it's dead, and then remove him from the tracker, and Amelia Earhart will get 1 experience point for taking that out. So now the final action is going to be for Snippy Von Bell, who only has the 2 actions. And so, but we're going to do the Side Blast. So we're going to move her into the room, and we're going to use her Side Blast attack, in which case then we're going to use her mental attribute. We have to roll 3 or less to hit with the Side Blast. We can only use it once per turn, so hopefully we'll get lucky. We got lucky. Sweet! And so then we're going to go ahead and roll two of these guys here. Two pink 8-sideds. And if we can do 4 total damage, we'll take them out. Well, we did 3, and so we're going to do 3 damage to that alien. And most likely, the next round, we're going to get 1 hit with Hattori, and we're going to take it out. So, that's how that kind of works. Now, when it's over, what happens is you're going to do loot. Now, remember we had the special situation with the Secret Armory, where if you didn't want to go ahead and roll randomly to see if you were able to loot, you would go ahead and just be able to take a loot card. However, if you want to actually roll, or when you roll loot, you can do it twice, and you have to roll underneath. You have to check your mental stat to successfully loot. If you succeed once, you get to draw 1 loot card. And the loot cards do get better as you go on. That's level 1 loot cards. Later on, you'll get to level 2 and then level 3. Just like the encounter cards get more difficult as the game goes on. And then if you get 2 successes on a loot, then you get to draw 2 cards and pick which one you want to keep. I should mention also, remember that everybody gets the experience for the encounter. So the Secret Armory had, on the green level, had an experience of 3. So everybody's going to get 3 experience. And if you kill a commander, they're worth 5 experience, and everybody gets that as well. So the commander cards, I just wanted to show you. So like these are the commander cards, and these also, you get multiple ones of these. So like here's like a robot commander, and they have a lot more health. They also are able to they have their attacks are more damaging. And these are the commanders that they'll show up for random like encounters, but also they'll be the ones protecting the portal that won't let you go out. So like in the first level, you will have to deal with the fact that you'll deal with like a lizard man commander in order to get out of there. That's the boss monster that you'll have to defeat. I should mention also that I'm not gonna there are allies that you'll find. Like here's like the Mothman and like Bigfoot, and as you travel through, you will find these, and then the allies, basically the people that find them and recruit them, will have like an extra character that they'll be able to carry with them to help fight against the aliens to escape. Eventually, and I already looked, but what happens is that you find a portal, which is this little token here with this little, and then you have to find the computer terminal, which is this. And when that happens, that's when you spawn the leader at that location. That so here is a lizard man leader, and you spawn that at that location to exit, and so that's the person that you have to defeat to get through there. And if you defeat that, like I said, you can use this little 6, and you can't probably see that because it's underneath, but there's a 6 there for this, and then you go to that level, and you'd have to get through that level and do all the encounters in there, and then go on and all the way to the top. Like I said, if you've played games like this, go into an area, encounter that area, run through the process, and then go on to the next spot. This is going to be very familiar to you, but because of the very unique theme, the fun narrative that this has, I really enjoyed my plays of Dulce. But let me talk more about that in my final thoughts. Alright, there you go. That was Escape from Dulce. I hope you enjoyed that. Now, like I said, there's a lot more to it, right? As far as searching out that entire area, moving up to the next level, and so on and so forth, and slowly climbing. And actually, I showed you the sides of the maps that I showed you was actually the smaller size, if that makes sense. You have you can play the game at an epic level, which has more rooms and more stuff going on, and the ones I showed you was a smaller set of smaller rooms. And basically it's a time-wise thing, how long the game is going to take in either way. It scales well in both ways, and it does scale very well up to 5 players, which is the maximum number of players to play. Now also, the whole idea of escaping from the base, that is just one scenario. There are other scenarios as well, like secret missions or whatever, that you can be undertaking as well. And the game doesn't have to be played the exact same way every single time, so there is a lot of replayability. Now, here's the big thing for games like this. You have to have a good narrative, you have to have a good theme, you have to have something you can latch onto. And as I said, I'm kind of into the whole like weird alien conspiracy stuff. I dig it, I like reading about it, I like thinking about the idea of like that whole weird like UFO world out there or whatever. And as a kid, I was really, really big into the idea of like we were being visited from outer space. Now I don't know how much I believe in it anymore, but when I was a kid I was really fascinated by it, and I've continued having that fascination even though I have a very, very healthy dose of skepticism when it comes to it now. So the theme grabbed me, I found it interesting, and like the narrative of the game is just really, 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 really good. But games like this kind of live or die with the scenario cards, right? You don't want to have... I remember when like Eldritch Horror came out from very first, I really loved the game, but the base game only came with very, very few like scenario like cards, like the cards that you had experiences in the spots, and you'd find repeats a lot. Now with expansions you got more cards of that game. I'm not here to talk about Eldritch Horror at all, but I mean, so the replayability of the game was increased. So the problem, like the only problem these games tend to have for me is that you have to have like enough encounters that like I'm not seeing the same stuff happening over and over again. Thankfully, this game is huge on the encounters. First of all, you have lots and lots of these decks. You have like 4 different encounter decks. So as you continue on, you get, you go to a different encounter deck, so you're not just going through the same stuff over and over again. And each one of these decks is tens and tens and tens of cards. And plus, if you really wanted to make sure that you just didn't have repeats, you could definitely like go through on like if you experience like these cards, like you could just take them, set them aside, or put them on the back or whatever, and then you make sure the next time you played these cards before. But you don't really have to do that because of the fact that there are tons of these cards available, and the fact is, as you climb up through the base, you're just going to be using the different encounter decks. Something I really liked. I really love the theme. I really love the fact that the combat system, like I really, really like that initiative system. It allowed you to have like nice strategic tactical choices. I like the whole process of like the attacks used the D6s, but then you had the different damage types, and I just like everything about it just made sense, right? And the combat mechanisms like didn't. The combats were quick, right? It was like you set them up, you get everything going, you took a moment, and then everybody just kind of played through it. And it was one of those things where you could get through the combats quick, and then you could go on to the next story, the next narrative card, the next fun thing. Because games like this, they're fun. The exploration is fun, and then like you have that cool exploration, you have that moment like, oh, this is kind of cool. Did we find the right token? No. Okay, go into this room. But then you have the moment. Okay, and then somebody gets to read that card. And then you go through that process. Then you have the fun rolling the dice, and then you go back to the exploration. And it's just this nice, like, it's like when you're eating ice cream and you have the perfect bites of each little bit that you want at any given time. And that's the kind of stuff that I really makes games like this a lot of fun. So if you like these narrative thematic games, lots of dice, cool little alien stuff going on, I really strongly suggest you check this game out. I think if you are a fan of co-ops, and if you're a fan of this kind of campy science fiction conspiracy themes, this is something you're definitely going to want to have on your shelf. So there you go. That's from Escape from Dulce. If you have any questions about it, please ask away. I'll be happy to answer those as best as I can. As always, thank you very much for your time and watching this video. And until next time, I am the Undead Viking telling you to have yourself one heck of an awesome day. Alright, bye-bye.